Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is David. In this video I will be adding some much needed updates to the camper that I built over a year ago. These updates are for both comfort and utility. I will also be repairing some of the poor man's fiberglass and adding a fresh coat of primer and paint. Be sure to stick around to see the new color I chose to paint the camper. And thanks again for watching. My first order of business when prepping for repairs and paint is to remove anything that might be in my way. So that is what you are watching me do here. So what I'm doing is I'm scraping off the excess glue. Originally I had this stuff glued to the front acting as a chip guard. I think if I would have laid a continuous surface of glue on this and then glued them up, it would have worked all right. But how I did it, it didn't work. It left voids. And what happened is when it was in the sun, which we have a lot out here, it started to bubble and it looked horrible. So I just decided to take it off, and I'm going to redo it with poor man's fiberglass. And if you've seen any of my other videos, which is in a playlist that I have, a camper build playlist, I actually go into depth and on the build and of doing the poor man's fiberglass. Once the poor man's fiberglass and everything's prepped, I'm going to paint the camper. I'm not going to reveal the color that I chose, but I have it right here, and so I'm looking forward to getting this all prepped and cleaned up and painted so I can start doing my winter camping. So that's what's up. Alright, now I'm ready to start applying some glue, and I'm going to be using just Type-On 2. Using this and just basically gluing this painter's canvas on. Now it's time to start applying the glue and put the canvas on. So I'm having to put some extra stuff on the sides here because my piece of canvas was a little short. So I think it'll look okay. I can make it look fine, but it's kind of a bummer that I have to do this, but that's what I got to do. Okay, so I got the canvas glued on. and I put the strips on the sides too. I think it turned out okay. I think it'll look all right once I get it all painted. I will say this, that putting the glue over the existing paint and then putting the canvas on made it lots more challenging. Obviously, normally you would just be putting the glue on the wood, and the wood's going to hold it in and make it actually tacky. The problem that I had is canvas actually wanted to slide around, so it was kind of a little bit of a bugger, but hey, I got it, you know. So I'm having a hard time with these like little strings, you know, that are coming off of this, or fibers or whatever you want to call them. This is what I'm talking about, like these little strings right here. They're really annoying. Like that one's hanging on there, and then, you know, but when I cut this, I cut it really clean, but it's something to do with the glue. I don't know, but I'll just clean it up and do the best I can, and once it's painted, hopefully it doesn't look like crap, but I don't think it will. I'm thinking optimistic. All right, good morning everyone. So the glue and canvas has sat all night to dry, so I'm just now going to go check on it and see how it, if it all dried thoroughly. So let's check this part. Let's turn the light on. So let's check this part. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I mean, it looks okay for what it is. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think once it dries or is painted, once it's cleaned up and painted, excuse me, I think it's going to be just great. And coming around here, yeah, this looks pretty good. Down on this bottom piece, I'm going to clean it up, obviously, and maybe put a piece of trim of some sort. I'm not sure yet, but it definitely needs something. I'm not going to just paint over that, so I will clean that up. All right, so I got the primer on. I'll give you a quick tour. So I'm glad to get the primer on. I don't really like the paint, but it's good to get it done. So now I'll let that dry, and then we'll put the mystery color of exterior paint on here. But first I'm gonna go get some breakfast. It's like almost 11:30 and I haven't eaten yet, so that's the plan. Alrighty, so the primer has all dried, and now I'm ready to start the paint. And this is going to be the color that it is. So the moment that we've all been waiting for is finally arrived. All right, here's the magic color. Great. Alrighty, I might do a like a camouflage with the gray, black, and white. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to paint this now, and yeah, I'll show you when it's done. So I mounted the tongue box, and the tongue that I have on this trailer just has a straight stinger coming out. It doesn't have like the Y. So I thought I could just put these U-bolts in, coming in from the top, which I'll show you. This one right here. But when I went to try out the wheel that comes down to whatever it is, the crank wheel, it wouldn't lock into place. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this right here, when I pop this out and put it up and it locks into place, it's hitting on here, which this one was like that too. So now I have to just come and put the U-bolts up and it should be fine. So I'm glad that I actually caught that before I had the car, you know, hooked up to the trailer, and then I go to try to put the wheel up to tow the trailer and find that I can't do that. And if I were in a hurry, that would be a major issue. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch those two around. All right, so I got the U brackets all put in place, changed to switch it around. So I'm going to try this wheel, and we'll see if I can raise it up, and I'll take you along. It's right on there. Boy, there's not hardly any room to spare. I might have to put a spacer on there, but I don't know, we'll see. All right, so I was able to get the front crank wheel or whatever that lifts the tongue adjusted so it doesn't hit, or it goes up all the way without hitting on the bottom of the box. So it fits perfect. I don't have to adjust the box or anything or shim it up. So just like that. Bam. All right, so I'm just finishing up touching up some of the black trim that I got the paint and primer on. I'll give you a quick tour of the completed paint and upgrades of the camper. So here's the new tongue box that I put on. The funny story behind that is that I was actually going to get a bigger one, and they didn't have one in stock, but they had these smaller ones. So I just went ahead and went with that, and I'm kind of glad I did. I put a piece of trim on the front here and redid the poor man's fiberglass, which used to have like this rubberized stuff on, but it was, like I said, it was in the heat, it was bubbling and stuff. It just looked atrocious. So I ripped it off, and I went ahead and just put poor man's fiberglass over poor man's fiberglass, and it seems to be holding up pretty good. And then obviously a piece of trim, which I need to paint. I still need some touch-up stuff, but I'm doing that right now. Coming around here, I don't know, just you know, the paint of the trailer. And then I put these stabilizers down. I looked all over for stabilizers in town. None of them were in stock. Ones that mount on the side, which is kind of actually what I wanted. I don't know, I just had these and I thought, well, I might as well just use these. They're just kind of sitting around. So they're a little short to the ground, but which I'll show you if I can get this loose. They're a little short, but you know, the ground's probably not going to be perfectly level where I'm camping anyway, so I don't think it really matters. And I can put like a leveling block or a rock or whatever. I didn't do too much other than just paint. So that's pretty much all I did, which was actually quite a bit with the priming and painting and repairing the fiberglass and adding some of the upgrades. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to end this video, and remember to be kind to yourself and to others. See you later.